Trump was the first global leader with the courage not only to declare that the climate emperor has no clothes, he withdrew America from the Paris Accords. Nobody else dared do this, but Trump did it and restored in many ways the American economy as a result. He stood out as a president who started no new wars. He destroyed ISIS. Remember ISIS, the Islamic State, which people said would last till the next century? And he brought peace to the Middle East through the Abraham Accords between Israel and a number of Muslim and Arab states. All this was achieved while he was being undermined, as no president has ever been, by an extraordinarily delinquent mainstream American media and the unscrupulous opposition that completely abandoned the civilized conventions that make the American Constitution work. He's certainly, I believe, the greatest president since Ronald Reagan. In a democracy, the law must be applied without discrimination. It is a national disgrace that today in Australia, Jews are being denied the equal protection of the law. The inevitable conclusion that someone in government, some politicians, are condoning this for electoral advantage, and that's a shocking thing. An early example was when Australia's long-standing UN vote on the recognition of a so-called Palestinian state was changed. And this was changed by the responsible minister, a key minister, going to the caucus and claiming he wouldn't be able to defend the old policy on the, quote, steps of the Lakemba Mosque. He couldn't defend Australia's foreign policy on the steps of the Lakemba Mosque, therefore it had to be changed. This is an appalling situation. Worse, this trend was significantly escalated when on the 9th of October, the sails of the Opera House were illuminated with an Israeli flag as a sign of solidarity and comfort with the Jewish community over the most appalling anti-Semitic outrage since the Holocaust. But that evening, that very evening, the 9th of October, the New South Wales police surprisingly shepherded a threatening band of pro-Hamas demonstrators to the Opera House. They warned Jews to stay away, and they made only one arrest. That was of a courageous young Jew who was unfurling an Israeli flag. That there was no call to order to the police by the responsible politicians indicates something disgraceful is going on. That is, that the public policy of Australia is being determined by an ancient and imported race hatred. And although Gaza was controlled by Hamas, a brutal, dangerous terrorist organization, the government handed out visas to residents without any way of sorting out those who were involved with and close to or members of Hamas. And against serious warnings about its links with Hamas, the government gave taxpayers' funds to UNRWA, which is an organization which is obviously corrupt and somehow linked to Hamas. Meanwhile, it must be stressed that at the notorious Opera House incident, there wasn't one arrest, despite incitements to violence and other offences being openly committed in front of the police. This has ensured that identification is now difficult, if not impossible. Was this just bad practice, or was it intended? We can be sure of one thing: the rank and file police would not have refrained from acting and would not have taken other questionable decisions unless they were under instructions to do so. This failure to act was followed by weeks of authorized pro-Hamas demonstrations in the city and even into residential areas where Jews were known to live.